Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble and I'm on these sites here. Um, Not a lot happening in the case of like gaming stuff, but there is some hardware stuff because of Computex. It's starting now. The Nvidia CEO Jensen, I think it's making the keynote or made the keynote just before I start recording. Might get into some stuff afterwards. But yeah, we got the Gamers Nexons. I've been watching them in their trip to Taiwan for the Computex stuff, and for sure you already saw this. They had in Acer headquarters. They got to check out some mini ITX cases and systems. And one of the things that caught everybody's attention were this one RTX 4090 liquid cooled, like a closed system in a GPU cooler itself, and also this one supposedly it's a 7000 like 7900 XTX supposedly, even though it only has like two pins, 8 pins for power delivery. Maybe it's a weaker version, or it's like only the XT version. I don't know, because this both of them are like engineering samples, so nothing is for sure going to be launched here. I saw also the disassembling of the 4090 stuff. The board is different from at least the reference design thing. It has some improvements and to a certain point it's not an imitation, but it's very similar, the approach on how they're going about the cooler regarding the previous EVGA designs. Very interesting how the power delivery is here done here on both sides, so it can be more efficient in the power delivery, and the controller can get more optimization in power delivery. So supposedly you can get a little bit more on the power efficiency side. But we got here the cooler stuff, which has like a solid copper stuff plus some pumps, I think here or here, to deliver the water stuff, to circulate the water. We got two fans here. Seems pretty interesting. And also here, no, it's only the RTX one. We got like just a quick look, no disassembling, because it's early stage of pre-production. We have here the power stuff. Maybe it's for diagnostic stuff here, but seems very interesting. The design of the thing, a triple fan. It's air cooled from what I can perceive. No water cooling stuff here. But yeah, it's very interesting what they are going about. I like this kind of things because you always get a brief look on what they are, what these companies are trying to do, and some concept designs and philosophies, trying to get around whatever they want to try around. But it's not finalized. I'm not sure if this is kind of, I suppose it's kind of approved or pre. There might be some negotiations with Acer because it's been a while that they didn't do any GPU AIB stuff there. But it's good to see another one manufacturer. Some people speculate this will take, Acer will take like the steps on EVGA regarding Nvidia AIB GPUs, but I don't know. We will have to wait and see what's coming about from them. But it's always good to see more competition. Usually brings more better prices and better products for the consumer. We just hope that it is. We got also from Asus. It's like recent, this one, like a 4070 that doesn't require power cable. So basically it's Asus doing Asus stuff with proprietary stuff for you to buy stuff. But this is just, I think it's only a concept, which basically instead of having, because this is an easy GPU to do with this 4070, doesn't consume a lot of power. So you can make like a PCB that can deliver extra power through the motherboard. So basically, maybe what I can see, because it has to be extra power delivery through the motherboard. you should have to plug up a cable for power somewhere in the motherboard. So instead of directly connecting to the GPU, you have to connect to the motherboard. There is no way around on power delivery. With the same cables, you cannot do that, or else if the power goes to the GPU, it will not go elsewhere. So you have to add another connector to the motherboard. At least I think this is how it works. I'm not an electrical engineer, but I don't see any other way to go around it. I think this might raises if they want to do this in higher powered, hungry GPUs. I don't know how this might have some situations where there should be some challenges, because if you're instead of routing the electricity directly from the power supply to the GPU, now you have another thing that you have to deliver power through, which is the motherboard. So it's not a direct, so you have like one step in the middle for power delivery. And I don't know how, in terms of like safety per se, it's a better word that I can get to describe what I want to say. It's you have more electricity running through the motherboard. I don't know if the motherboards have to be like kind of reinforced to handle the extra power that is going to be delivered to them. I don't know how they're going around to avoid like, I don't know, because the circuits can only handle so much power, mainly like amperage, ampere stuff, and watts is not usually the thing. It's more amperes. But yeah, I don't know how they're going about it, because in cables supposedly you can manufacture cables that can handle or thicker cables, or cables that have more resistance to this kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know how they're going about it, but it's interesting, the concept itself. But there's some challenge. I think in low-end GPUs it's more than good enough to have like I don't know, an extra 150 watts, because usually this PCI already delivers 75 watts. It's the PCI 16X, PCI 4 or 5. We already have 5. So PCI 4 16 lanes can deliver up to 75 watts through this connection. But yeah, I don't know, this extra I don't know, because Nvidia is very power efficient. I think 150 watts it's more than handled, so 200 watts, yeah. But for higher end GPUs, I don't know if this will work as flawlessly as the concept wants to deliver all this power through the motherboard. From the keynote from Nvidia, they announced like the Grasshopper 200 GPU, so AI stuff. I don't understand very well, but how this kind of things work. But it's basically why they don't care too much. I bring this article mainly because why they don't care too much about the gaming market here, even though it's at the moment it's the second most in terms of revenue for Nvidia. I think they want to change in this kind of high risk, high reward stuff. It's very powerful GPU, don't get wrong, but I think they are trying to get also, because it's only like one chip. It's like a system, and it has integrated also some Ada Lovelace. As you can see here, it has Grace Hopper, which is like a combination of Grace whatever it is and Hopper whatever it is, CPU, GPU, whatever it is, and then Ada Lovelace, which is why they just prefer to put the things that don't sell, or they think they will not sell, and just put it on these things, because they can oversell these things to companies in their servers. But yeah, it doesn't mean this is not a big achievement for AI. A lot of discussion being around that this might be like kind of a bubble. It's to a certain degree it's a bubble, but it's not like the mining stuff. But they are betting a lot of it on this one. But if they bet all their portfolio on AI GPUs and stuff like this, I don't know if in terms of long term if it's going to compensate for them. But yeah, unfortunately, in this day and age, corporations they just think in quarterly terms. So 3 months, they just want more money. That's it. They don't care too much of long-term plans. At least that what they transmit to everybody. But yeah, we got now promotions on AMD 6650 XT, which basically has kind of the same performance of the 7600, and now it costs less, this one, because it's previous generation, so they are trying to sell off their stock as soon as possible so they can control better the offering on the 7600 and supposedly the middle range GPU that the JD thing on their, I spoke yesterday on the Chinese festival, whatever it is, it's in about 15 to 20 days. We already saw some discounts happening before this festival happened, especially on Ryzen CPUs, the 7000 series, and I think also in some GPUs. But yeah, in the rest of the markets, we are going to see they're trying to dispatch the remaining stock of their RDNA 2 GPUs. So they try to put their new GPUs a little bit more enticing for gamers to buy. At the moment, given that they have the same performance, basically the only thing that distinguishes themselves, it's basically the AV1 encoding, because even in terms of efficiency, in terms of power efficiency, it's not that much of a big deal. But yeah, for me, I think it's better to spend a little bit, like $50 or so, and maybe get a 6700, 10 gigabytes. It's a little bit better than the 7600. But yeah, I'm not going to tell you what to buy or not, but as you can see, a lot of the only thing that it's a process node manufacturing, and basically all the things, a little bit more clocks, not that much, but yeah, theoretical GPU flops, never trust this number, because at the end the performance is basically the same. Interest is more, it's memory bus, memory speed to a certain degree, which is depending on memory bus. Memory bandwidth is also a little bit dependent on memory bus and memory size. But yeah, it's basically the same performance, and the 6650 it's now less. Another thing, as you can see, Intel Arc A3080 dropping prices. Now it's cost basically $100, which is like a very basic entry level GPU. As you can see, it's also from the GD site. It's like pre-festival, so they are lowering a lot of stuff for this festival. I don't know if they are, if the AMD is going to finally announce their middle range GPUs. We will have to wait and see when this starts. I think in this article they made a reference on that festival. Yeah, 18th of June. It's basically when it starts. It's the Chinese Dragon Boat Festival. JD, it's like Amazon from China, basically. But yeah, as you can see, this is a very entry level card, the 3080. Not much here, 6 gigabytes of GDDR6, 96 bits memory bus. This is like low level entry gaming for 1080p, very like medium to low settings, but it can handle stuff. For $100 you cannot demand too much of it. But yeah, at the moment, at this point in time when I'm recording, this is like the menus from hardware. Some of them are related to Computex. When more stuff comes up, for sure, if it interests me, I will let you know. Some gaming news, interesting here. I was going around on Epic Game Store, and these guys, Ubisoft, they will not let it go with the pre-order bonus stuff. Play the game on day one and unlock bonus quest. So they are hiding stuff on the game, basically, regarding their I don't know. It's that thing that this is one of the reasons why you should not pre-order games, any game. And I love my franchises and my developers, I have some preferences, but I will never pre-order anything, not even from Software, which is at the moment my favorite developer. I will never pre-order anything because it only gives, in long term, the more the pre-order gives them only more excuses to charge you more, to give you less, and Ubisoft is always it's always been like this from some time now. Like and all the basically all the publishers, they just try to hide content on pre-order bonuses so they can have again their quarterly earnings before the game even launches. They're already making money, and then you have like crappy experiences. It's one of the things why you should not pre-order. In my opinion, is afterwards they can justify bad launches, and then because they already have the money on the pocket, they don't kind of really care because they already sold what they wanted to sell. And then we have things like, for example, Golem stuff. You got things like The Last of Us Part 1 for PC, to a certain degree, also Resident Evil 4. These kind of games, they already have they are used to have pre-order stuff, so they have the money in their pocket before the game even launches, so there is no justification for them to deliver a very good experiences for the players. Basically, this is it. So that's why I don't pre-order, and I always advise people not to pre-order because it starts to give the message for these kind of guys to take care, optimize the game the best they can, and have a decent launch so they don't have like issues with bugs and sometimes some crashes out of nowhere. Again, lack of optimization and all that good stuff. But yeah, I got some news from Fextralife. They have like the weekly stuff on RPGs. For sure, there are always some stuff that I don't cover because or the game IP or something like that. It's not in my interest, but it might interest you. They always do excellent coverage on the RPGs. I will leave a link on their article so you can check it out. They have video and written format, which is always good. But yeah, basically this is it. I'm just going to wrap up with like a game launch. There is not a lot of deals. The deals that there is at the moment I already covered yesterday and before yesterday's video, so I refer to that for the deals itself. We got Planet of Lana, very positive reviews. I watched the reviews from ACG, I think, and yeah, I think it's ACG. I don't remember correctly the channel, if it is gaming or reviews or something like that. Give a proper, decent, very positive review of this game. It's like a 2D platformer with a lot of puzzles, good soundtrack, good gameplay, and good story. And it's launching with 10% off, so $18. It's a very good price, and it's a good recommendation. I really like this kind of style games. But yeah, it's basically a very decent indie game. And I'm going to wrap up with my GoFundMe for me to upgrade my PC to get better and more content from my private clients and start doing some video stuff for them also. And in my free spare time, continue to do my gaming news, daily stuff here with better quality, doing some scripted content for me to get some deep dives in some stuff that I like to talk about, and resuming my gameplay series, and in the near future maybe doing some live streams also. And well, as I said, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.